Hello everybody! How's it going? I hope it's going well for you. Today's lesson is all about playing in different keys. When we learned Twinkle Twinkle Little Star in the earlier lessons, we played it in the key of C major. So we're going to talk about what that means, and we're going to talk about how we can play tunes in different keys. So before we get into it, though, we need to know something about what a tone or a semitone is. So a tone is a distance in music, and a semitone is half the distance. So what we're going to do is we're going to just see on the keyboard what I mean by that. So when we have a distance, we have a starting point and an ending point, okay? So if we start on C and go the distance of one tone, we will end up at D. That's the definition of a tone. A tone is from one note to another with another note in between. So that's the distance of a tone. And then, of course, a semitone will be here. From C to C sharp is a semitone. From C to D is a whole tone. Now, the reason why that's important to know is because when you play in a key, that key is based on the scale of that key. And the scale is made up of a pattern of tones and semitones, okay? So, at least in Western music, we have these scales, and the major scales are the main ones that we play in. Especially in pop music, it's seldom is pop music ever in a minor key. So we have the major scales and we have the minor scales, and I'll be talking about what those mean as well in a minute. Or actually today I think I will just stick to major for now, and then in the next time we talk about scales, we'll talk about minors, okay? Yeah, let's just stick to major this time. So a major scale is made up of the starting note. The next note will be a tone away. The third note is another tone away. The fourth note is only a semitone away. So far we have a tone, and a semitone. For the next part of the scale, we're going to have a tone, another tone, a third tone, and then a semitone. So the pattern is tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. And that is the way it is with every major scale, no matter where you start. So now C major, so that was C major I just played because we started on C. So C major is the only key that has no black keys in it at all. None. No, when we play the C major scale, we don't need to play any black keys. But in every other key, it will come up with some black keys. The first one that has only one black key is a fifth away from C. So you might hear people talking about the circle of fifths. This is why they talk about the circle of fifths. I myself don't bother writing it down because the circle of fifths is right on your keyboard. Why do we need to write it down? I don't know. But if you want to write it down, you know, some people learn better on paper. So whatever your learning technique is, that's what you use, okay? So a fifth from C will be G. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is why it's called a fifth. The next major scale that we will learn after C will be G, because that's the next simplest one. And the black note that G major has in it is this one right here. Okay, so that's F sharp. This is called F sharp. You should have learned all your notes by now. Learn all the notes with the numbers. This F sharp happens to be F sharp 4 because the C to the left of it is C4. F sharp 4. We are going to start our G major scale on G3 today. Here we go. Tone, tone, semitone. Tone, tone, tone. Notice that? Semitone. So what happened here? We went from a white note to a black note. So it doesn't matter for the tones and semitones. It doesn't matter what color the key is. For a tone, as long as there's one note in between, then it's a tone. Doesn't matter what color these two notes are. So you could have a tone here. It just happens to be not something we're using right now in G major. In G major we don't have E flat, but I'm just showing you. Here again, there's a tone and there's a tone. So the tone doesn't have to be two. It could be two black keys as well. In between these two black keys is a white note. So that's a tone. Okay, let's get back to G major then. Don't get sidetracked too much. So let's start again with G. Oh, and by the way, these things can be taught with the solfège method as well. Solfège is just that do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti that you've probably heard if you've watched Sound of Music at all, or you heard the song from Sound of Music. You will know about do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So let's play our do, G, tone, tone, semitone. Tone, 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 semitone. So now if we play in the key of G, the tune will have an F sharp in the front where it's called a key signature. And then you have to remember, because they won't put a sharp in front of all the F's in the tune. You have to remember that you're in the key of G and play F sharp every time you see an F. And so the tune will use these notes. It will use these white notes and these two white notes and a black note. Okay, so your tune will be made up of these 7 notes. 7, because that's a G and we already have a G. 7 notes, and your do will be G. So let's sing it. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And then we have chords associated with each, even in C major, we have chords associated with each note of the scale. So for our G chord, G scale, we have the tonic. This is called a tonic as well. You can call it do or tonic. You have G chord, A minor, this will be B minor, C major, D major, E minor, and F sharp. Now this F sharp chord is not a major or a minor. It's called diminished. And it is not very often used as is. So you will come across songs that have these chords in them. Okay, the chords in the song will be all of these chords that belong to G major. When we come to the 7th chord, that's usually used as part of the D, as a D7 chord. See how that? So make sure you have your chord chart out when you're doing this lesson as well, okay? So make sure you have your chord chart out so that you can see what I'm doing. The key of G will have G as the tonic chord, and then it will also have A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, and F sharp. This is F sharp diminished, but it's usually used as D7. And that's the same with any key. Let me do it in C major now for you. In C major, we have a tonic of C major chord. Okay? Then the minor, another minor, a major, another major, another minor, and then your diminished, which will have the 5th added to make it a 7th chord. Because this chord by itself is a little too funky for most people. It's good to have a little funk sometimes, but not all the time, okay? So we usually add the 5th to make it a little less funky. It's still a bit funky, so it's just right. Instead of just plain G, we can have a G7. So this is how tunes are made up. We have different keys. Now, C major has no sharps or flats. G major has one sharp, which is F sharp. And then to get the next key, we just move our thumb to the right. It will be D, change position. D will have 2 sharps. That's this F sharp and C sharp. Okay, so now the one with 3 sharps will be a 5th away, which is A. 3 sharps will be F sharp, C sharp, G sharp. So that last sharp points to what key it's in. Okay, so our hand was on the D position. Now we're going to move up 1 position and we'll have E major with 4 sharps and then B major with 5 sharps. And for beginners, we usually stop there because it gets a little bit complicated after that. So we just start with those 5 or 6. If you count C major, it's 6. So we start with C major. C major has none, no sharps or no sharps. G major has 1 sharp, which is this F sharp. Then D major will have 2 sharps. This F sharp is already there, and then the C sharp will be added. So C sharp points to the D, okay? Now let's move up 1 more. Oh, we skipped 1, didn't we? We didn't do A major. Why don't we start again? C major has none. G major has 1 sharp, which is F sharp. D major has 2, the F sharp, and now the C sharp. A major has 3 sharps, F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. Move up one more. E major has 4 sharps, F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, and D sharp. Are you seeing a pattern developing here? I hope you are. And the 5th one, which is our last one for beginners, will be B major. And in the key signature, there will be an F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, and A sharp. So you see how that goes in the key signature, which is the little group of sharps that you see in front of a piece of music. The first sharp that if you have a key with only 1 sharp, it will be F sharp. If it's 2 sharps, it will always be F sharp and C sharp. If it's 3 sharps, it will be F, C, and G sharps. And if it's 4 sharps, it will be F, C, G, and D. And then for the 5th sharp, it will be F, C, G, D, A sharps. Okay? If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section, and I will definitely answer you. You can also just Google this, how to play in different keys for music. There's lots of information on the internet as well. And so, yeah. So that's what happens. So let's try to make up one more scale. We know C major because it has no sharps in it at all. We just learned G major scale with 1 sharp. Now our next key will be D major. So D will have the F sharp and the C sharp. So when we play that, okay, and we can, from D, we can get A major. Let's start it down here. A major has 1, 2, 3 sharps, okay? So remember those. Now the 4th one will be E major, and that will be 4 sharps. 1, 2, 3, 4. So remember those as you're playing them. The only one that's left out is this one. So let's go. E major. All right. And then the last one is B major, and it has all the sharps in it. So I'm not expecting you to learn those all at once. We're going to learn them. I'm just showing them to you right now as a preview. So don't get excited. We're not trying to make you go too fast here. You know that I don't like people going too fast. Just keep calm. Learn one at a time. All right? I'm just giving you an overview so that you know where you're heading to. So next, well, when you start practicing again, you practice your C major that we learned, I think it was last lesson we learned, or sometime. Last lesson, yeah. So now you have a new scale to practice. That's G major. And you just have to do 1 octave. You don't have to do 2 yet. With the left hand, it's the same as the C major. We went the whole way before turning. Let's go the whole way before turning. Okay, So now you have a new thing to practice. You can practice your C major scale. You can start your practice with C major scale and G major scale. And then you can practice Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star or any other tunes that you might have picked up on your searching over the internet. You know, it's good to have one teacher that gives you continuity in your learning, but it's not good to just stick to one teacher. Make sure you go looking up other people as well and learn stuff from them as well. If you want to stick with my thing, I'm going to be teaching in a nice continuous line. So yeah, I won't be going all over the place, okay? So if you want to stick with me, that's what I'm doing on my channel. Okay, let's end there because we don't want to do too much in one day. You know, I always say this, don't do too much in one day. Just stick with what you are able to do and you'll get further by doing it slowly, okay? Slow is the fast way to succeed. At least in piano it is. And I think with other instruments as well. Okay, I will talk to you next time. Happy practicing. Bye-bye.